Release the Kraken. That's it, Park? I'm not sure.
55 or 60, I think.
55, my ass.
This was always hard to know.
This is so sharp. Sharp head.
Oh! You're having a fucking Russell Hart, you.
Going to a doctor.
I reckon in 30 years, 10 to 12 events a year, not really 12, I don't believe we've ever got a single word wrong.
What do you mean? Got it wrong? Like, put it in the wrong place?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you suggesting here?
Oh, so I'm not suggesting anything. I think I'm suggesting. I'm saying we've always got the weights right. I'm not saying the weights were always necessarily the absolute perfect weights we should have put out, but they were ones that were registered. You smoke.
Hello lads and ladies, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic, I don't even know what day it is. My time and days are all mixed up. I'm finding it really hard to adjust to the time over here. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a Anyway, so we're going to go through some of the comments yesterday and see what we think. Okay, some of you are leaving comments there, and I said to myself, I need to get back to you about that because you're being a bit of a cunt, if you don't mind me saying. Hopefully the sound is also better today. We had a bit of a mess up with sound yesterday. It's just, you know, there's so many voices in your head and you're trying to listen to one at a time, and there's a lot of personalities in here. We have a little personality disorder. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. We haven't figured it out yet. I went to a psychologist, hypnotist one time, and he noticed that there was something wrong with me, and he was like, what is that? I was like, oh, it's probably ADHD or probably like a touch autistic or something. So after our tour de force meeting, he said, you know, I have evaluated, and it was before, I think it was World's Strongest Man, maybe a year ago or two. And he said, I have evaluated, and you don't have ADHD, and you're not autistic, you have something else going on. So I was like, what is it? And he's like, I'm not telling you. I was like, oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for figuring out what's wrong with me and not telling me you can't. He was like, no, I just can't tell you because I don't want it to start messing with your head before the competition. And I was like, so you think figuring out what's wrong with me and not telling me isn't going to bother me? And he was like, no, trust me, this is the best. You don't want to know what's wrong with you. I was like, yes, I'll be the judge of what I want to know, not you cunt. Long story short, I didn't go back after that because I found it wasn't working. It was a long day. He was a specialist. He was the fella that works with Conor McGregor, and we all know how that went. We had a friend in common that got us meeting together. And he was up in Dublin, so he's a big long drive away from me. It's like 3 hours each way, and then spending like 2 hours with him, it was just too much of a long day. It was expensive, and I was like, this cunt has figured me out and he won't even fucking tell me. Dread Train. Botox is not a muscle relaxer, by the way. It's botulinum toxin type A. Mr. Scientist.
You're paid to think, Mr. Scientist.
It literally paralyzes the area it's injected in. It isn't relaxing anything. Lol. Dread Train. Don't you be telling me what I can and can't feel, you cunt. If I tell you that Botox makes me feel relaxed, you will accept it. You will accept my answer. Don't be telling me what I can and can't feel. It literally paralyzes the area it's injected in. It isn't relaxing. Isn't that technically relaxing? When it paralyzes the area, it's relaxed the area. Do you know, for a scientist, you're a bit of a thick cunt. 300 milligrams only, and in Ireland it's 200 milligrams. 300 milligrams only. 300 milligrams of caffeine only. Why are you writing only after 300 milligrams, you cunt? Jesus Christ. Do you know what? Look, this is a coffee here. The average, and coffee is strong, you know, and the average caffeine content in a cup of coffee is anywhere from 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine. But 300 milligrams only. Are you soft in the brain, you cunt? Anyway, fucking hell. Some people make me so angry. Kay Allison. Reminds me of when I had my son, the lads in the area the lads in the area were riding motorbikes straight around outside the house. My dad went out, explained the baby was in bed, would they mind not revving so much? The response was, okay, Mr. Barnett, no problem. That was 34 years ago. How times have changed. My lips aren't working properly today. They're not saying words properly. Unique New York. Okay, they're not bad. I don't know what happened that time. I think if that happened now, they would rev them more and be bigger cunts, because society has changed and it's just making people really fucking annoying. And it makes you want to strangle some people. Oh. But fair play to them young fellas. We don't see too many of those types of young fellas anymore. My God, that Mark Felix impression was something else, for fuck's sake. First time I met Mark, I did not expect that voice out of such a fucking giant of a man. Really caught me off guard. Tell you what though, he soon changed it up when he's shouting at you when you're hanging out of your arse during the Conan's wheel. I was only speaking to someone yesterday about Mark Felix. Mark Felix is probably one of the only strong men, not the only one, he's one of the only ones that'll just reach out randomly and ask how you're doing. And that is a rare commodity in a man these days, or a rare commodity in a human these days, where they will contact you without looking for something. They'll just say, how are you doing? How are you doing? And that is the type of fella Mark is. He's always just reaching out to see how you're doing, never wants anything. In my last couple of meetings with Mark Felix, he will sit down alongside me, and anytime we've met him now, has been me competing, and he'll sit down alongside you, and in the most calming manner, he'll be like, how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? And he'll ask you about genuine stuff that you've been struggling with, because he'll be watching videos and stuff like that. And if you were struggling with your overhead, he would have made a mental marker of that and asking how that overhead press has come along, Mark Felix is literally the biggest gentleman in the game. Hash Brown Dialer. Pa, have you ever tried to give yourself a bubbly? What the fuck is a bubbly? Gonna Google this really quickly. I'm not finding anything on bubbly. Someone who is bubbly is very lively and cheerful and talks a lot. I suppose I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. Damn, don't overdose on caffeine first day. You still can make the podium. I'm coming tomorrow to Nancy Kerrigan shit up. Rat Rhodes is going to be there in 2 days. Really? Rat is coming? The rat face is coming? God, he has upset a lot of people here at Worlds. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't let in, because he is what you'd call in Ireland a pa. As a fellow Irishman, I pushed my overhead up by concentrating on core and stabilizers. Then you will gain 20 to 30 kg in no time. 6 months hard work, mate, I promise. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a pass here because you're an Irish fella, right? Do you not think that I'm training my core and stabilizers? Do you not think all these little muscles, even if I wasn't isolating them, I am deadlifting between 300 and 400 kgs every week, squatting that is the same amount, all the overhead pressing. You don't think that's training my core a bit and the stabilizers, plus all the core and stabilization exercises I do? Come on now, I thought you were Irish. You should be cleverer than that, you cunt. The hairdryer could come in handy if you have a hairy hole. You strike me as that type. It's like a sixth sense I have. Well, I can tell you your sixth sense is wrong, you cunt. Because, is it wrong? Like, I physically can't check the area, to avoid dingleberries. I mean, you have to trim the area, don't you? Because a hairy hole... There's an old saying back in Ireland, A hairy hole is a messy hole. You need to shave your hole. So, doesn't everyone have a hairy hole? How is that a sixth sense? That's just common knowledge. You even, fully woven Beethoven. I bet you have a hairy hole. Everyone has hair in their hole. Why do we have hair in our hole? Such a weird thing. Hair normally has a reason. You know, like it's on our bodies to keep us warm. It's in our nose to keep out drugs and dust. It's in our ears to protect our eardrums and that. What is the hair in our hole protecting? Maybe it's to stop people stop shoving sticks up your hole if you bite them, like the old badger. Drink 5 cans of rain and wonders why he's overdosing on caffeine. Kind of self-induced, dude. Have to say, I'm normally on your side of most things. Hang on now a second. I never said it wasn't my fault. I just was being a little bit of a thick cunt. Drinking 4 or 5 cans of rain and then going for an ECG was not my proudest moment. It wasn't the biggest brain achievement I've ever had in my life. It isn't up there. It wasn't my fault either. My brain just wasn't working that day. But you know, when you're over here at Worlds and you're in a different time zone and you're around a bunch of fucking lunatics, these people over here are crazy and they say I'm crazy. I hope you can get enough sleep without the comfort of a leaky roof. Do you know what? I am missing my caravan. I am missing the dripping. I'm missing the wind sweeping under my doorway. I miss my immediates. You know, your immediates are the people you're always around, like my partner and my Freddie. Freddie asks me a million questions a day because one of the great things about Strongman is it has allowed me to be like a stay-at-home dad, but obviously I work all day. But it allows me to be at home and be around him a lot of times. So I'm very grateful to Strongman for that. So I get asked a million questions a day. But it's great because these questions are the formation of the personality and the character, aren't they? I'm making him to try not be more like me. I'm too hyperactive to watch TV. Drinks rain like it's going out of fashion. I wonder if there's a link. Oh, well, aren't you a smart cunt? Listen, I do not drink much rain. In fact, I drink 0 rain. I don't like rain, to be honest. I think it's a bit pissy and gassy and it makes you burp and fart a lot. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of energy drinks for that reason. I do like coffee, but I only have about 10 coffees a day. I like that hotel. I've stayed there a bunch of times, including last time Worlds was in Sacramento. Hope to see you around at the show, Pat. The Badgers of Sacramento are covering their holes in terror with you in town. They'd want to, because I know the crack with a badger. A badger has nothing in his head, only to go over and bite your ankle. And he, as I said, they will not let go until you shove a stick or your finger or something up your hole. Just don't use something else, you sick cunt. Anyway, lads, that is all we have time for today. All the lads, to the best of my knowledge, are here today, so I'll get more interactions from more strongmen from here on for the next couple of days, I think. So bear with me while we get some footage, and I hope you're having a great day. Make sure you subscribe, you know, pick up a t-shirt. Look at this one that I'm wearing, it's so amazing. It says, it's funny because when I was in the airport, an air hostess, I was kind of standing in front of her and she goes, "Don't be a CU. And what does your t-shirt say?" And I said, "Oh, it says don't be a cunt." It says don't be a CUNT. So amazing. It's just conversation starter, these t-shirts are. Anyway, lads, thank you all. Good day to you. Good luck.